Alright, so I recently made a new tool, which I was kind of hesitant to make just because I don't really find most of this stuff that useful. Um, you can do pretty much all these things like post install, and it's really no different. But I know a lot of people like to have a clean ISO, like a clean base, to do all their things. And also, Windows 11 is getting a little bit ridiculous with the requirements and whatnot. So I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and make this. So I'm just going to do a quick guide on how to use it and some things to keep in mind because um, the way this works, it's mainly using dism, which is a built-in Windows command, but it's a little bit buggy to be honest, so you just have to keep in mind like things that you can and can't do. So yeah, to use this, really simple, just download the zip, and you can run the batch file. In terms of like what ISO to use, I'm still going to recommend 24H2. 25H2 is just a little bit too new. It's a little bit too buggy, I would say. I've had a little bit of issues with it, so for right now, I'm going to recommend 24H2. And specifically, I'm going to recommend Enterprise just because Enterprise, like server, education, those kind of editions pretty much have all the group policy keys unlocked. If you use just regular Pro, not all the group policy keys will apply to Pro. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not a big deal, but I don't really see any reason not to use Enterprise because you can activate it just fine with Massgrave, so it doesn't really matter if you use Pro or not in terms of activation. So yeah, here's the script. If you want to get the ISO from UUP Dump, it's going to take a little bit longer, but you have a little bit more control over what version and what build. Just keep in mind, I didn't make this script, and it can be a little bit buggy. There's a lot of stuff going on. I've already made a video on how to use UUP Dump. So yeah, if you get like network errors or some other error, I didn't make the script, so I can't really help you. If you want to go the easier route, you can just get the standard 25H2 ISO from Massgrave, or you can get it straight from Microsoft. It really doesn't matter what ISO you use in here. Just don't use one from the media creation tool. I believe those have like a different type of, they don't have an install whim, it's like a different one. So it's not going to work most likely. And media creation tool is pretty buggy too. So yeah, just get your ISO from somewhere. You can use the built-in options on the script. So if we come into here to run the script, you'll see I've already included those two options to download the ISO. Like I already said, the UUP dump option will give you, you can do any of these builds, but it's going to take a little bit. This is building the ISO from scratch, so you need to make sure you have plenty of space on your drive. So wherever your output directory is selected, make sure you have plenty of space. I would say like 30 plus gigabytes should be fine. If you need some guidance, there's a help button that walks you through it. And then obviously this video will help too. So yeah, so pretty much get your ISO. It really doesn't matter that much what you do. So I'm just going to choose just a standard 25H2 ISO. This is just straight from Microsoft. It'd be the same as the Massgrave one. And I'm just going to select an empty output directory, and you can see I have plenty of space, 106 gigabytes. That's more than enough. So I'm just going to select the output directory, and then we can do mount. So this will take a second. If you don't have the Windows 80K installed, it'll install that for you. This is needed to create the final ISO file. Alright, so when it's found the additions, you can select them here. If you choose like the UUP Dump ISO, it's just going to be one edition, or sometimes it's like Pro and the one that you converted to. If you use this option, it removes the previous one, so they'll just be Enterprise. I'll show that in a second. But yeah, so you can choose your edition. Don't choose any of the ones that have in. So Pro in, none of these. They don't have media player. Some things aren't going to work. So yeah, if you're doing this, just do Pro. You can always, if you really want to, you can change it to Enterprise once you're on the install. Massgrave has that option to switch editions. If, let's say, you selected an ISO and, oh yeah, by the way, if you scroll on this, it changes, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, if you choose like a different ISO, let's say, let's do like an Enterprise one, we can still use the same output directory. It'll remove the previous folders. Alright, so you can see this only has one edition, which is fine. So next we'll go on to the account and password stuff. You can leave this whole part blank. By default, the username will be set to admin and the password will be blank. But if you wanted to set your username to something else, like if I wanted to do Zoic, I could do that. But I recommend you leaving the password blank. It should auto log in even if you do set a password. But yeah, who needs a password? So yeah, we can just leave that blank. For the Windows update options, if you don't want updates, you can get rid of them completely. This is what I do. I don't really see a point in updating Windows, but sometimes some people need them for, let's say, like the Microsoft Store to work and stuff like that. So you can do security updates only. This will block all the driver downloads and whatnot. And it will just leave you with only security updates when you check for updates in the settings. Keep in mind that cumulative updates are considered security updates. So if you see a cumulative update that's normal, I can't make it so that it's only updates to like Defender. And then version upgrades is just like it going from 24 to 25 H2 or something like that. And then these are the same options for my strip Defender script, if you're familiar with that. So I've upgraded the remove Defender a little bit. It's a little bit better now. Of course, remove BitLocker. BitLocker's trash. Get rid of that. Just causes issues. Security mitigations. If you play Valorant or Face It on CS2, I think, they probably won't work if you do this. So skip that if you play those two games. If you play any other games, that's fine. BO7 works. And then of course disable telemetry is pretty self-explanatory. If you do this option, I recommend doing the option in my Zoikware script because it has a little bit more stuff. Not everything can be done post-install, and not everything can be done pre-install. So sometimes it's good to get best of both worlds. And then these are pretty self-explanatory. Same thing with the remove Windows AI. I recommend just go ahead and running the other script that I have that's for post-install, just because it will get a couple more things. So yeah, we can move on to actually selecting what we want to remove. If you have File Explorer open, like open like this and visible, you need to close it because there's a bug that I found a long time ago with DISM, if you're viewing, especially if you're viewing the output directory with File Explorer open, it's going to bug it out. So yeah, make sure you keep it closed. Make sure you keep most things closed, because DISM is a little bit tricky with just how it works. I can't change that. It's beyond my control. So we're going to mount the edition. You have to mount the edition to be able to load in what packages are on the ISO. Alright, so once the packages come up, I've excluded the ones that would really break things. So for most people, you can remove all of these and it'll all be fine. But obviously, if you need store or like photos or something, obviously, leave it unchecked. So like, I would say leave paint, terminal, store if you need it, the Xbox apps, stuff like that. So just go through here and think about what you're gonna need. You should be able to get it back even if you remove something that you need, but just go through here and really think about if it's going to be something that you're going to need, because removing these things isn't going to give you more performance. It's just to have a cleaner ISO. So don't just remove something for the hell of it, so yeah, I'll just do select all just for the purposes. And then the OS packages, I'll go through the rest of these. All right, so once again, I've pretty much excluded everything that would like really break core functionality. But obviously, like, there's printing stuff in here that you may need. So just keep that in mind. If you really don't know, just leave it. It's not going to make any performance difference whatsoever. If you're like, oh, I don't know what one core DirectX database is, I don't know if I need that, just leave it. It's not going to make a difference. So same story. There's not too many capabilities because most of them aren't even installed. So these are just the ones that are marked as installed. So once again, you can remove all of these if you want. It doesn't really matter. This is solely for creating it how you want it to be, not performance. The only performance thing is getting rid of Defender and like disabling the mitigations. That's literally it. So yeah, they're all here. So if you get to this point and for whatever reason let's just say you close out of this script, okay? If we go to our output directory here in our test folder, you'll notice remove directory has like, it looks like a Windows, like this is like the C drive. So this is because the edition is mounted. If you try to use this output directory again without unmounting this, it's going to break. It's not going to work. You're going to either end up with a corrupted ISO or something won't work. So I've created this script that's automatically made in this directory for this very reason. So if for whatever reason you close it or it crashes or it freezes or whatever, and you're stuck here, because you won't be able to remove this. Like if we try to delete this, it's gonna say it can't. Even if you take ownership, you won't be able to remove it. So we need to run this script and it'll clean this up for us. Alright, so when that's done, you'll just have an empty directory. You can delete the script if you want. It'll get remade anyway. So yeah, I'm going to get back to where I was before I close the script, and I'll show how it looks kind of going through all the tweaking options. Alright, so we're back to where we were before closing this. I'm just gonna select the Apex packages and ignore the other ones. The the install I'm on literally right now recording this video, I removed all these. It works fine. So yeah, if you want to see my options, disable updates, check all these, check all these, and then yeah, the rest is preference really. I mean, the whole thing is really preference. So yeah, we'll just do start tweaking. Notice I don't have File Explorer open. Please close it. I don't know if the bug is still there, but I'm gonna assume it is. So yeah. All right. One thing to note here. Um, if you used one of the ISOs from UUP Dump, the compressing win SXX folder will say it'll give this error. It's fine because it's already been compressed. So yeah, I guess you can't do it twice, basically. All right. So now that's done, it'll create the same name ISO. It'll just put Z on the end so that you know. So we'll go there. You can check the size. It should be a little bit smaller. Not that one. Yeah, so it's a little bit smaller than it started because we removed some stuff. So yeah, that's good. So now I'll show installing it on bare metal hardware and then also a virtual machine. I highly, highly recommend testing it with a virtual machine first because not everyone has another PC to, make a backup bootable flash drive. So if you want to be really sure and you don't have a way to easily make a backup flash drive with Windows, just like a stock install, I really recommend just installing VirtualBox and testing it there. So I'll show that first. Actually, I'll show like the bare metal install because that's what most people are going to be doing. All right, so I prefer Rufus. You can use Ventoy if that's what you prefer. So yeah, I'm just going to download Rufus real quick, and I'll show that process real fast. So it's already selected my flash drive, but yes, you select your flash drive, select your ISO. So that's going to be here. And then you don't have to change anything else except for when you hit start, you need to uncheck these. All of these should be unchecked. If you have any of these checked, or at least like these like three top ones, actually probably this one too, any of these will screw up what I've done. I've injected a auto unattend already into the ISO, so all this is already done. You don't need to use any of these options. If you do, it's just going to break things. So yeah, please don't check any of these, and that's written on the notes of the help on the script. All right, so installing it on a virtual machine, I'm just going to use VirtualBox just because that's what I prefer. If you want to use VMware or something else, you may have to translate these settings over a little bit. But yeah, we're just going to do new. We're just going to call it tests, and just choose somewhere where you have plenty of space. So I already have a virtual machine folder. We're going to select the ISO. And then here, similar to Rufus or Ventoy, you need to make sure that there's no unattended installation settings. So like in VirtualBox, you would uncheck this to not proceed with the unattended, because it's already done for you, like I said. So yeah, for me, I just set like 8 gigabytes of RAM, 4 cores. Alright, so this portion of the setup will be left for you to, choose your settings and whatnot. You can hit, I don't have a product key, just use Massgrave once you get onto the install. And then obviously here on a bare metal install, you're going to want to remove your previous install. So, I mean, there's like a million guides on what to do there. So, but a virtual machine, it's super easy. All right, so once you get to this point, this is basically like skipping the OOBE, so all those stupid options. So it'll just sign you right in. And then that little screen where it says like hi, getting things set up for you, it's kind of a lie. It's just like a program. So that's removed. And then it'll run this first run script. This will set up the last couple things. And then something I forgot to mention, you can install this with internet plugged in or unplugged. It doesn't matter. You can either one. It won't automatically search for drivers despite that notification. It doesn't actually do anything. So yeah, this is what it looks like when you get here. If you left Edge installed, that'll be here. But yeah, super clean. You'll have the script already here. So yeah, you can go straight into, installing your browser or whatever you may need. So yeah, you can see I left the username blank. So if we go to WinVer, we can see our name is just admin. And yeah, 24H2, Windows 11 Enterprise. There's no Defender on here. So the background processes and everything will be pretty clean. Just a really nice like base ISO to get started. I just removed all the annoying stuff from Windows 11. I didn't go too crazy with it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy using this tool.